entrepreneur, that our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising. Am I audible, please?
Yes, you're audible.
All right. Our greatest glory is not in falling, but in rising every time we fall. Thank you most graciously for the brilliance of your introductory remarks. Distinguished members of the Toastmasters tribe, our fabulous friends of goodwill, it is of paramount significance to state, first and foremost, that the role of the general or the chief evaluator is to provide a constructive evaluation of the quality and excellence of our meeting experience. To this extent, I am responsible, of course, for the evaluation team, which is comprised of 4 competent, terrific Toastmasters. I'm going to introduce them one by one right now to explain precisely and concisely their duties. Ladies and gentlemen, the first individual or functionary that I would like to invite to the spotlight will serve as our timekeeper. He's a visionary entrepreneur, educator, and growth marketing executive who has a mission of significance, a mission to empower 10 million Africans through Bitcoin education technology. He is the founder and executive director of Bitcoin and Demo Hub. He's a certified life coach who is passionately involved in a treasure chest of professional networks, such as Forbes, BLK, and others. His personal mantra is always thrive towards greatness. This gentleman is our incumbent educational vice president. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our timekeeper for today, Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Greg Esowode, our General Evaluator. And it's with great honor that I'm here to serve as your timer, which is also known as the timekeeper. By the way, I'm not here with my bell, but I will do so with my time card. Now, today we have 3 segments. Today is the entrepreneur speech, which is the table topics. We have the prepared speech, and we have the evaluation section or segment, which will enable us to know better on how to speak, on how to communicate. As your timer today, I have with me 3 colors in my time card. In my background, you see the green, you see the yellow, and you see the red. Now, what does that mean? In our table topic section, you have between 1 to 2 minutes to speak. If you speak less than 1 minute, it tells your speech is not valid. And if you speak beyond 2 minutes, 30 seconds, your speech is also not valid. So what are the green cards, the green card, the yellow card, and the red card saying? Once you've spoken for 1 minute, you're going to see the green card. And once you've spoken for 1 minute, 30 seconds, you'll see the yellow card. And once you've spoken for 2 minutes, you'll see the red card. That is for the table topics, meaning you have 30 more seconds to finish your speech, which I will advise you do so. Now, the next segment is the prepared speech. And for the speeches that will be given today, falls between 5 to 7 minutes, meaning once you can speak less than 5 minutes. And once you've spoken for 5 minutes, you'll see the green card. 6 minutes of your speech, you will see the yellow card. 7 minutes of your speech, you will see the red card, stating you have 30 more seconds to wrap up your speech. And for the evaluation segment, it's between 2 to 3 minutes, meaning you can't speak less than 2 minutes. Once you've spoken for 2 minutes, you will see the green card. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, you'll see the yellow card. And 3 minutes, you'll see the red card, stating you have 30 more seconds to wrap up. As we all know, time is not just the thing, it is the main thing. And I hope we all can value it to give us the best of experience in today's meeting so that we can always focus forward and understand the future. Thank you so much. And I relinquish the microphone back to the general evaluator. Thank you for having me on your team.
Wow.
Toastmaster Craig.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him the emoticon or give him the thumbs up or something to invigorate or encourage him. Speaking in public is not a walk in the park, is it? Ayababi, thank you most kindly once again for your unexceptionable introduction of your duties as our timekeeper. In the spirit of being future focused, my most distinguished colleagues and our fabulous guests, permit me to invite the individual who is going to serve as our grammar sentinel. This gentleman is an industrial designer who breaks down concepts and ideas into relatable physical forms. And as a broadcaster, he has significant experience in radio broadcasting. And here is something that is fascinating about this Toastmaster. He revels in painting and drawing and writing. Ladies and gentlemen, with every sense of exquisite ecstasy, join me to welcome to the spotlight our grammar sentinel, our language evaluator, Toastmaster Anjola Luwabadaru.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, House. It's good to be here this sunny Thursday afternoon. Like Toastmaster Craig Esowode has rightly said, I am the language evaluator for today's meeting. And as we delve into the meeting, my role this afternoon will be to observe and evaluate language used during the course of the meeting. I will be focusing on grammar, vocabulary, and punctuation. As language evaluator, I will be noting of both effective and ineffective use of grammar, of vocabulary, and of pronunciation. So mine today is one to be of rapt attention, listening, so that I can, from an observer's point of view, give us feedback. As we all know, it is the breakfast of all champions. I will be listening carefully for the use of quotations for outstanding words. I would also be on the watch out for those who use the word of the day, as we will have one today as well, as we do on all meetings in Toastmasters. So feel free to, as we launch into the meeting or as you either chat in the chat box, use very generously our word of the day, which will be on display shortly. I'll be happy to introduce that as well. It is one of the roles that the language evaluator plays in a typical Toastmaster meeting. For today, our word of the day is ascend. I think that this word is in line with the theme of this meeting, which is future forward. The word ascend is a verb, and it means to climb, to accelerate, to rise, to soar. or to lift. In a sentence, you could use it as such, as displayed. Brett seems to relax slightly as the lift starts to ascend. She is the first traveler in Toastmasters International to ascend to the mountain, and so on and so forth. So as we interact today, as we contribute today, and as we learn today, let us remember to ascend with our public speaking skills as we launch into the meeting. Thank you very kindly. I will then return the virtual lectern to the Toastmaster of the day to carry on with the rest of the introductions. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you suppose that he deserves a round of applause? Let's give him that round of applause, that tumultuous round of applause. It's not a leisurely stroll to speak in public, right? Angela, many thanks for introducing your role with evident succinctness. And we hope that your evaluation later will help us to ascend the ladder of grammatical eloquence. Okie dokie then. Ladies and gentlemen, our next role player will help us to count those innocuous speech habits, the use of the arms and the arms. Now, who is going to function in this capacity? My most distinguished colleagues and our gorgeous guests. I am delighted to inform you that this gentleman is a well-versed graphic designer plus an experienced brand strategist. He helps people and businesses to excel through compelling branding and marketing strategies. He began his Toastmasters journey in 2019. Right. All right. And he is our club's immediate past president. And before he ascended to the vineyard of our club's presidency, he served with excellence as our club's educational vice president. This gentleman has a magnificent sense of humor. And because of that, he earned the first place crown in the 2023 humorous speech competition of our division. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our immediate past president, Toastmaster Razak Odejayi.
Our general evaluator, Toastmaster Craig Esowade, thank you so very kindly for the warmth of your introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, good afternoon. I trust we are all keeping well today. My role as the hack counter is very simple. I'm going to be taking notes of unnecessary words that we call crutch words, or filler words that we use to fill up the pauses in our speeches and expressions. Mark you, these words, they are readily available whenever we are not quite sure of what to say next, or during pauses. But we have to be careful and do away with them. As a matter of fact, call ties with them and send them 6 feet under, never to be seen again, forever. Words like, or sounds like, ha, Or phrases like, as in, you know, or when we repeat words unnecessarily. When you say, I mean, catch words like this take away from the clarity and beauty of our expressions. And that's why we need to cut ties with them forever. So I'm going to take notes, and I will be called upon at the end of the meeting to come and give my reports. And I would just want to encourage you to make sure that you do not make my list. And it's back to you, the general evaluator.
Wow. Thanks very much indeed for the explanation of your as a master. I have this opportunity to encourage the grammarian of the language to speak and it's intentional. It's time for the chastity of which use this. I must distinct place and our treat so speaking must always begin with this
General evaluator?
Yes.
The general evaluator, your internet is a little bit shaky, so it's causing your voice to glitch. If you want to check that, or we turn off our video just to make sure that your voice can flow. Thank you very much. Do you want to say that again?
Still tracking.
Is it clear now? All right. Is it clear now?
Much better.
It's slightly better.
All right. All right. You might try Crackly. Try Crackly. You might want to try Crackly next time. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our next functionary will serve as our quiz master. The study of effective speaking would always begin with the study of effective listening. For this reason, we have the role of the quiz master. And who is going to serve in this capacity? She is a chemical engineer, and in point of fact, she has a master's degree in environmental engineering. And here is something that is enthralling about her. She loves teaching children about climate change. What is more, she is a zealous reader. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our quiz master, Toastmaster Toby Adeoja.
I think English.
Toastmaster.
I beg your pardon. I'm not sure Toastmaster Adeoja is on the call. So I think because I will probably fill in the gap and stand in for her as the quiz master. Is that okay?
All right, then. All right. If that's all right. That's all right. And if that's the case, please briefly explain the role of the quiz master.
All right. Thank you, our dear English doctor. So the role of the quiz master today is very simple. I will be listening into beautiful speeches, beautiful anecdotes, beautiful phrases that are going to be said here today. And maybe one person is going to go home with a prize. So I would like to crave your indulgence. That is to your benefit if you listen keenly to all that is going to be said here today. And that's my role here today as the quiz master. Over to you, our general evaluator.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Our master as well as our quiz master. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to come back during the evaluation segment to provide some and forward-facing reports. Please have fun storming the castle, and it's not time for me to courteously ascend the meeting to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Ebunanada, back to you.
Can we give our general evaluator a round of applause? He's always a pleasure and a delight to listen to. Unfortunately, the internet gremlins came for him and we couldn't hear, towards the tail end of what he was saying. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Craig is somebody we always look up to when he speaks. It's not called the English doctor for nothing. Now, if you're just joining us here today, I want to say very welcome to Merry Toastmasters Club. And if you're wondering what is Toastmasters, why are we here, what are we doing? This club, as you can see behind me, is 100 years old. Now imagine doing something for 100 years. It means something is getting better. Now this club is founded 100 years ago, and it was dedicated to helping people communicate better, to speak clearly, to speak better in public. And not just in speaking, to also learn the art of reading. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have been thinking and wondering, how do I speak in public? All these people that are speaking, can I be like them or even better? Yes, you can. This platform provides you all that you need to become better in every facet of your life. So if you're still deliberating, thinking, or you're thinking of somewhere else to learn public speaking, don't waste your money. This is where you want to be. And I'm sure as you proceed towards today's meeting, you will learn a thing or two. And there will be somebody here to reach out to you in case you want to take the next step. Now, today's meeting has different structures. We just listen to the role players explain what they're going to be doing and listening in to make sure that today's meeting is a success. And we are going to the next phase of this meeting, which we call the extemporaneous segment. Now, this is the hallmark of any seasoned public speaker. Imagine you're somebody, they say, oh, come and give a speech, come and give a toast, come and say something in public. Many of us, including myself, at a point will just hide and dodge. But if you really want to learn how to speak, you need to be able to face these periods where you'll be called at any time and just say, please, can you come and represent us, or can you come and speak? And that is what the next segment is all about. So ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, we are moving to the extemporaneous segment. And as we ascend to that segment, there's no other person that I would like to introduce to handle this aspect. This is what one woman we call a mentor of mentors. She's a business person who deals with medical devices. She's ebullient, she's elegant, and most importantly, she's eloquent. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome somebody who I hold in high esteem, distinguished Toastmaster Rashidat Salubelo. Madam is welcome to
Madam President. Madam President, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I'm trying to live up to that. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is the extemporaneous segment, as she said. This is that segment where Toastmasters learn to speak off the cuff. What do we mean by that? Meaning speaking when you are not prepared to speak, because this is the reality. That is, in fact, the reality when you want to ascend the height of your public speaking prowess look up to being able to speak when you are not prepared to speak? So we're now going to set the ball rolling and we'll be moving on a roller coaster. We have just 3 questions. Just 3 questions. I'd like to see who is on the call and who is not. I'd like to have a Toastmaster attend to my first question. And I want to reassure all of us that there are no right or wrong answers when it comes to the extemporaneous speaking segment. Please do remember that at the end of the session, members of the audience will be called upon to cast their votes for who their opinion is the best of all speakers, meaning we want you to put in a little bit of effort in the 1 to 2 minutes that you would speak. Remember, the timekeeper had told us that you have 1 minute minimum to speak and 2 minutes maximum. So you want to just ensure that you keep within the 1 to 2 minutes. Who is going to take my first question? I'd like to have a Toastmaster set the pace for us. Well, where are my Toastmasters? Yes, I can see Toastmaster Funlaya Ifebogun. I can see Toastmaster Fumiomoto Shaw. That is a past president. And I do not think they have roles to play this afternoon. So I can see Toastmaster Amina Amza. Okay, so who's going to bell the cat? Toastmaster Amina Amza, I want to volunteer you. That sounds nice. Yes, thank you for taking up the challenge. Good. Now my first question, Toastmaster Amina Amza, do you want to switch on your video?
Okay.
Yes, are you on now? Toastmaster Amina Amza, are you there? Okay, lovely, lovely, beautiful. I overheard some young ladies who are just ascended to adulthood. And guess what they said? They said, adulthood is a scam. Do you really believe that? What about your childhood, really, personally, makes you want to remain a child forever? You have 1 to 2 minutes, Toastmaster Amina.
Please, could you take it again? It's not that though.
I think we'll need to.
The next word.
Can we hear you?
Am I audible now?
I think you need, not so very. Perhaps you want to increase the.
It's up now. Is it okay, ma?
Beautiful. Yes, please. Thank you so much.
So, adulthood being a scam. Well, I think that's the language of the Gen Zs today. They feel like we are just so resilient that we only base all our judgments on experience. So they see that adulthood is just filled with stress, tension, and too much of believing that things will turn out right. So for the youth of today, they believe that let's just give it a trial. Whether it works or not, it will work, it will work, if it works. But we don't believe, because the adulthood in us wants to look back and test and see if it's going to work well. While the youth of today believes that let's jump at it, nothing is undoable. Well, for me, my own opinion in life is about John Maxwell's quote, where he says that in the law of the mirror, because everything about life is about experience, about the individual. He says that you need to know yourself to grow yourself. But many of them don't even know themselves. They're not able to define themselves. And for you to confirm, to state clearly that something is a scam, you must have experience. And that's what I tell them. It's not about just now, immediate. It's about how did we get to where we are in order to move to the next step. Thank you.
Wow. Well, that was a very good opener. You need to know where we are so that we can get to where we are going. Everything in life is about experience. Thank you so much for opening up our session today beautifully. We're going to have just 2 more volunteers because I have just 10 minutes on this session. Oh yes, did I see Color Cash? Somebody like that? Is Color Cash? I saw somebody trying to raise up. Yes, I can see. Beautiful. Oh, a Toastmaster again. Well, Toastmasters appear to be stealing the show this afternoon. Okay, but I need to hear you speak. You are not audible still. Hello, Toastmaster Color Cash. Do you want to? Oh, lovely, but you are cracking. Do you want to check that? Can you say something? Let me be sure we can hear you.
Oh, all right. Can you hear me loud and clear? Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we can.
Thank you.
Okay. What does Color do right now by way of job or something? Do you work? What do you do?
Yes, I do. I work in marketing.
You are a marketer. Okay.
Yes, trade marketing. So branding at that.
Branding, marketing.
Yes.
I was listening to a comedian who incidentally is also a lawyer, an artist or something. And he was asked that question. If you were not a lawyer, what would you like to be? And he said, I like to be a vulcanizer. Vulcanizer? Why? He said, he just likes the way it sounds. If you were not a marketer or a branding executive, what would Color like to be? Why?
Oh my God, that is an amazing question. If I were not a marketing executive, what would I like to be or what would I have done? Really, growing up, I'd always wanted to become a lawyer just because my sister, who I adored and I admired so much, was a lawyer. And she influenced me so much so that I thought being a lawyer would fulfill me. But things didn't pan out for me well after I finished secondary school. Jammed me several times, and I could not ascend that level of getting into school and then becoming.
Now we're struggling to hear you. We can't even hear anything. Or is it my own
Oh
connection?
my.
We can hear him.
Toastmaster Color Cash.
Okay, it is your connection.
Hello, can anyone hear me? Okay, yeah, now.
Yes, we can hear him as well.
We can hear you.
Hello.
So I had to change course and then find something else I could do because I could not gain admission into the university. Then I chose marketing, right? And today I am a marketer. But really, if I had wanted to do something else, it would have been law, because for so long I admired my sister, and for so long I admired how lawyers carry themselves, how they behaved. And I think a larger part of my life was devoted and dedicated to being a lawyer. But then as things pan out, I am now a marketing executive because of that little glitch that I had that did not allow me to get into the university in time and then also start out in that field. But be that as it may, I am happy where I am, I'm content, and I'm sure that this is what I'm meant to do now. Thank you so much. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
The mic is muted, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Oh dear.
Yes, okay, yeah, she's back. Madam Table Topic
Okay.
Master.
Oh, I was off.
Yeah, we didn't hear you for a while, but yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, so sorry about that. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Color Cash. Now I know that if you were not a marketing executive, you would have been a lawyer and would probably have met in the courtroom one of those days. Well, thank you. So please do remember that we are going to have to cast our votes for whoever, in our opinion, is the best of the speakers, but I'm only going to take just one more speaker. And I'd like to encourage a volunteer and a non-Toastmaster to do that, because that's the easiest of the three topics. Okay, so who is the non-Toastmaster, aspiring Toastmaster that is, that would take up that challenge? Could it be Clara? Clara Naram, are you a Toastmaster? Clara, would you like to speak with us? Are you a Toastmaster?
Not a Toastmaster. She's not.
Okay, Clara is not available. And I have Olatun.
Okay, I think we've lost RSB. Okay. I believe RSB, has she dropped off the call? I believe so.
I'm back again.
She's back.
Just take my
Okay.
last question and let the gremlins have their way. Please, who is going to save me from this gremlins this afternoon? Please, I just need one volunteer and I'll
I volunteer.
one volunteer. Okay, who is that?
Toastmaster Angela Badaro.
Anema. Oh, no,
Someone,
you
no,
have
there's an
Oh,
Anema
there's
that
a-
wants to try.
Anema,
Anema,
please. I'd like to take Anema. Anema, thank you.
Good
Anema, your
evening. Yes, please.
your
Anima
video.
is
Good
speaking.
evening. Thank you very much, Anema. Very simple. I'd like to tell me which one would you prefer? When I say continuous, I mean day, night, 24 hours a day, 6 days and nights of full sunshine, or 6 days and night of intense rainfall. Which one would you prefer and why?
I would rather have days
Sorry,
of rain.
could somebody spotlight Anema?
Do I need to have my camera on?
Yes, we'd like to see your lovely face.
Oh,
And
it's
see.
on,
We can see.
on at the moment. Okay.
We can
I would
see you.
rather have days of rainfall because I am Nigerian and we have a lavish supply of sunshine. And because of that, we're used to having hotter days. I would rather have rainfall because the descending rain makes the weather cooler and more bearable. I like rainfall, especially because it cleans up the environment and the air gets cleaner. Breathing becomes easier. And that's why I would rather have rainy days.
And will that be all? Will that be all, aspiring Toastmaster? I'm not sure you have spent a minute.
Quite on the opposite side. Sunshine results in sweating, makes the environment harsher. I can refer, as a matter of fact, to the current changing seasons. During the last dry season, it was really hot because the days were sunnier. But currently, we're approaching the August break season. There's a bit of rainfall, and because of this, the weather is a lot more habitable. It's a lot more endurable. We don't have to have air conditioning on all day or even at night. Sleeping is sweeter and more restful because the weather is much better, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to applaud all three speakers. Believe me, it usually seems simple and easy until you mount the podium or the lectern yourself. Remember, it was Mark Twain who said that it takes him more than 3 weeks, usually more than 3 weeks, to prepare just one good impromptu speech. But now we had people coming up with impromptu speeches in less than minutes. Thank you very much. That will be all. Please remember that we shall be voting for the best of the speakers. We have the first speaker who would rather be, well, she feels that there's nothing like adulthood is a scam, and that was Toastmaster Amina Amza. Then we had the second speaker, Toastmaster Kola Kesh, who would have wanted to be a lawyer if he were not a brand executive. And third was aspiring Toastmaster Anema, who would prefer rain to sunshine because we have enough of sunshine already. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And that will be all for us on this session today of extemporaneous speaking. I'd like to return control to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, DTM, distinguished Toastmaster Rashida Salibio. Please, if your hands are not too busy, I would just like us to put an emoji for that beautiful, that eloquence, that elegance. Did you hear how she spoke? Very, very soothing. So thank you so much, Madam, for how you conducted what we call the extemporaneous segment. Ladies and gentlemen, and we are moving or ascending to the next segment. Now, we're not just going to hear people speak. In Toastmasters, we have a philosophy where we say feedback is the breakfast of champions. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. So how do we know how well we are fared? Because every aspect of this meeting is being evaluated. To handle that aspect of all the speakers who have just spoken, we have a beautiful and equally beautiful lady who is coming to evaluate those speeches that we just heard. Now, who is this lady who will be coming to do the evaluation? This lady is a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants. She's an award-winning behavioral, business, and personal development coach. She employs various personality and behavioral models to help people develop themselves and succeed in life, career, and business. She's an author, she's a mother, she's an inspirational speaker, a success catalyst. Did I say more? She's loaded with so many accomplishments. Toastmasters are guests. Please join me as I make welcome the one and only, the first Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho, who will handle the evaluation segment. Toastmaster Fumi.
Thank you very kindly, diligent, ebullient, and intelligent Toastmaster of the day, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed the table topic session because it was full of many, many enjoyable things. I'd like to start my evaluation from the table topic master, our mother and mentor, and a Toastmaster veteran, Toastmaster Rashida Salibelo. I love the fact that she conducted that session in a very warm way. And she set the guidelines and ground rules, telling us that there are no wrong and right answers. And she also told us that there'll be timing protocols. She reminded us of what the timer said. She also said that we will be voted for, the respondents will be voted for. But what I loved most was the quote by Mark Twain that she ended with. More than 3 weeks to prepare for one impromptu speech. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rashida Salibelo. When we grow up, we'd like to be like you. Now to the respondents. Table topics, Toastmaster Amina Amzat. very eloquent, and very straight to the point. The question is, I overheard some young
Madam
ladies.
Evaluator,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'd like to reconfirm if we're going to check timing for speakers and if we're going to vote before you start your evaluation. I
Okay,
don't
ma'am.
know.
Timekeeper.
All right. Thank you very much for that. And I will do that shortly. I didn't want to obstruct your beautiful flow of angelic voice in giving us the evaluation. And just to go straight to the point, speaker one, which is Toastmaster Amina Amzar, spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. Speaker two, Toastmaster Kola Kesh, 1 minute 43 seconds. And third speaker, Anyema, spoke for 1 minute 58 seconds. And that shows that they all qualified to be voted for. And as we have it in the next 1 minute, the vote will be on your screen. And so kindly, the vote will be on your screen for the next 1 minute. So kindly vote as I launch that. So it's up and it will run for the next 60 seconds. Kindly do your voting. Thirty more seconds. Five more seconds.
While we are taking on the votes, please, this is a good time to invite your friends to learn about Mary Toastmasters or Toastmasters in general. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Thank you very much, TMOD. Thank you very much, Table Topic Master and Table Topic Evaluator. Kindly go ahead, ma'am. Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho. Thank you so much. You can.
Okay, thank you very much. The question was for Toastmaster Aminat Amza. I overheard some young ladies who have just ascended into adulthood saying adulthood is a scam. Do you believe this? She started by saying it is the language of the Gen Z. And I think I love that expression. It's not just the language of the young people of the Gen Z. And we are so resilient, and they believe we are so resilient and base all our judgments on experience. That was a nice way to start. And I also like the fact that she said something about adulthood is what make us to look back. Adulthood is something that make us want to look back. That was beautiful. She also said, for you to say something is a scam. We need to get experience. That was good, emphasizing experience over just assumptions. In fact of recommendation, I did not hear Toastmaster Hamza use the word of the day, ascend. So I would have loved it better if you had used the word of the day, ascend, in your submission. For Toastmasters, then what I love most was the quote by John Maxwell. You reset. You really need to know you need to know yourself if you want to grow yourself. So that was a beautiful and powerful thing to say. Then the last words that lingers long with me, we need to know where we are going. So we need to know who we are so that we know where we are going. That was powerful. And it was like a self-reflection. For Toastmaster Kola Kesh, I love the fact that you told a personal story. The question is, if you were not a marketing executive, what else would you love to be? And I love the fact that you told a personal story. You told us how you admire your elder sister while growing up, and you wanted to be like her. And I love the fact that you added a tinge of humor when you said jammed me badly. That gave me a chuckle. and also love the fact that you use the word of the day. And you said, be that as it may, I'm happy where I am. And I love the fact that you said that you are happy where you are. As a form of recommendation, I would have loved your presentation better if you had used a quote or maybe an adage to accentuate what you said. Something by Joseph Joubert, who said, it's better to debate a matter than to let it slide. That's just to let us know the importance of the debates or the arguments that lawyers have. And finally, what I love most is, for so long I admired my sisters, for so long I admired other sisters, other lawyers. That was poetic. For aspiring Toastmaster, Niema, are you sure you are just an aspiring Toastmaster? It was so beautiful. The question was 6 days of nights 6 days and nights full of sunshine and 6 days and nights full of intense rainfall. What would you prefer? And you said you would rather have 6 days of rainfall. And I was so surprised that you gave us the what, the why, and the how of the question. You even used the word of the day. You were bold, comfortable, confident, and articulate. And you told us what you liked. You told us why you liked it, which was rainfall, and you told us how the reason why you like it and how rainfall makes you feel. You said that you like rainfall because it cleans up the environment and the air gets better. And what I love most about your speech is the poetic aspect of it. The use of the weather is a lot more habitable and endurable. You also said sleeping is sweeter and much better. Those just made me, they rhymed so beautifully. And I would just encourage you to use the word of the day next time, and next time to join Toastmasters as soon as possible. I leave you with a quote by the Greek philosopher Socrates, who said, an unexamined life is not worth living. Toastmasters, let's continue to examine ourselves. Let's continue to examine our speeches and get better as we evaluate, as we receive evaluation. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day, Madam President, the beautiful and dynamic Toastmaster, Ibn Dameda.
Thank you so much. Please, can we give, I'm loving your hairstyle. Really loving it. So thank you so much to thank you so much, dear past president, Toastmaster Funmi Omotosho, for the way you conducted the evaluation. Please, can we give her a round of applause? And you can drop a comment for her in the comment section. Now, what you have just listened to is what we call the evaluation segment of the table topics. In life, at work, in relationships, you will always have an opportunity to give an evaluation. But how you give the evaluation can be termed either criticism or a good feedback. Now, what we do in Toastmasters, if you listen carefully to how she said it, we use what we call like a sandwich method, which is commend, recommend, and a commend again. So you layer what you really want to say between commendations. And I hope we're able to take that approach to our daily life so that whatever feedback we want to give to other people, it is well received, so much so that they look forward to your feedback and do not term it as criticism. And with that, we are going to ascend to the next segment. But while we are getting ready to ascend to the next segment, I want us to put the theme of the day in the comment section, which is future focus. Future focus, because everything we are doing here today is geared towards focusing on the future, to becoming the better versions or the best versions of ourselves. So please, I'd like to see future focus in the comment section. And with that, we are moving to what we call the educational segment. If you thought that was just all for Toastmasters, no, there's still more in stock. Now, when we say the educational segment, this is where Toastmasters, people who are going through the curriculum, are given projects to take up so that's to better their public speaking skills. And in this segment, we have two prepared speakers. who will be doing justice to their projects today. Our first speaker is somebody that we look up to, we look at very fondly, who is in the innovative planning level and is on level 3 at this time, is going to be evaluated by somebody very profound in Toastmasters circles, whose evaluation we always look forward to listening to, who is always so well attired, well dressed. Now, this man, this gentleman, I've never seen him look tardy in any ways, always perfectly dressed. Now, this man is a deputy director with NAFDAC and the World Health Organization. His hobbies include traveling. He's been to 25 countries. I want to say, Sam, this is the next place you're going to, maybe you want to take me along. I also want to explore the world. He's also going to the extreme ends of the world, like Australia and even Cuba. He's a lover of Chelsea. That's a lover of blues. I don't know, maybe for Arsenal fans, you'll be like, why is this man a Chelsea fan? But that's on you. And he's happily married with lovely children. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, join me as I welcome the first evaluator for the next speaker, Toastmaster Olubenga Stephen Aino. Toastmaster Stephen Aino, welcome to the virtual lecture. The floor is yours.
All right. Toastmaster of the day, you make me feel like paradise with the warmth of your introduction. I want to thank you very much indeed. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests and friends of Merit Toastmasters Club. And if you are still here and you're with me, please type in our chat box the word of the day. The word of the day is ascend. Please type ascend in the chat box. So our very first speaker for the day in this educational segment is a gentleman that I have tremendous respect and admiration for. And since this man joined my Toastmasters Club, he has been on a trajectory of greatness in public speaking. This gentleman has not looked back right from the day he joined our club, giving speeches back to back, one after another, and he's been on fire since then. So today he'll be speaking to us from the innovative planning of the Pathway series, level 3. And the speech objective for that is that we'll be giving a proposal. We'll be giving a proposal. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a proposal. And the title of his proposal, ladies and gentlemen, is Fueling Our Growth, a Bold Plan for Merit Toastmasters Club. So if you're looking towards membership in this new year, you already have the proposal on the floor, on the table, and that'll be presented by TM Ahmed. So, TM Ahmed, please, I know you are very good at public speaking, so please take your chance and put your best foot forward. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, thank you so very kindly, Toastmaster Steve Aino. And with that, I would like to introduce the first prepared speaker for today, and it's none other than Toastmaster Hamed Omar. Now, Alhaji Hamed Omar is a consultant with over 30 years of experience in the packaging industry. He's the founder and CEO of Graphic Packaging Communications, plus is the president CEO of Labels and Labeling Packaging. Now, on account of his numerous accomplishments and keen expertise, resolute dedication is a highly valuable asset and is highly sought after in the packaging industry. He loves photography, traveling, and playing golf. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster and guests, I introduce to you Toastmaster Hamed Omar to give us the next speech. Toastmaster Hamed, are you ready? Toastmaster Hamed, okay, I can see you.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear. So I'm going to respect, yes, please. Take it away.
Thank you, Madam President and Toastmaster of the Day. Do you know if you do not plan, you plan to fail? Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests and friends, good evening. I'm Toastmaster Ahmed Alex Omar, as has been rightly introduced. I'm Vice President, Membership. I'm thrilled to share a bold plan to help our club ascend to new heights of membership and management. Our agenda: we will review where we stand currently and unveil a three-pronged innovation plan mapped out over 6-week sprints and highlight how each of you in Merit Toastmaster can be part of this ascent. 1, visibility revolution. This will be tagged Merit in Motion campaign. 2, open house reimagine. And 3, an ambassador program. First, let me reflect on our current position. The membership of the club currently is dwindling, less than 30. Attendance is fluctuating. We hardly get up to 30 to 50%. And our guests are not converted up to 10%. I recall my first visit at the Toastmaster Club. I ascended with nervousness as an observer. But today, I'm a confident speaker because the way I was welcomed and guided to Toastmaster. So I want every new member to have this same experience of belonging and growth. Our first pillar will be on visibility revolution. Like we have already heard, there's a lot talked about Gen Z. They want it to happen so fast. They're all over the internet. The internet, digital, is something quite new to us. So I'm going to create a weekly spotlight of video where the club presence will ascend social media. We will showcasing our energy. We'll feature about 60 seconds, stories of everything we have in here and what we've having in Toastmasters, the table topic you've just listened to. They'll be well highlighted, reflected in LinkedIn, where you have business people well seated, so they can actually see what is happening in Toastmasters. This will actually give us, links, people will see. And then the second pillar will be when we are reimagining our open house, elevate and ascend. No more bland agendas. Instead, we'll host Teams nights. We'll have social functions where birthday ceremony or whatever events we have can actually be part of Toastmasters. And you have kits that will help guests to ascend, to become enthusiastic participants. After every event, we'll have a 7-day warm parts, sending WhatsApp messages, emails to knock them, to take the next step. And the third, we're going to have what we call an ambassador program. Every new guest like you have here today, we will have to pair them with a seasoned Toastmaster like Toastmaster Aina, who is evaluating me today, DTM Rashida Bello, and Toastmaster Fumi. We'll have to pair all these new guests or new Toast members Toastmasters to be part of this so they can have confidence from the start. As we build the ambassador program, they won't have kits where frequently asked questions will be shared. And I believe with this goal, about 80% of the newcomers within a week will attain a 90% retention within 6 months. Here is how I have mapped out this to work in the next 6 weeks. In week 1 to 2, we'll have finalized the media side, assets, and the ambassador. You all understand how social media work, content creation. I happen to have studied a postgraduate course in broadcast journalism, and I'm good at creating content also. In week 3 to 4, we'll have been able to launch what we call Merit in Motion. This, I strongly believe, we can have close to about 2,000 impressions within 1 month from the various areas of social media. Then in the week 5, we'll have to promote, elevate, and ascend, where we'll have about 30 people attending our events. And then within week 6, we'll have done a lot more. Week 7, the ambassador program will have gathered a lot of feedback, and then we'll keep moving. And the success metrics here, we're looking at maybe about 30% of the guests, will actually have been converted, and 20% of most of the people will have found online will have come to make inquiry. And now you can help us propel this asset. Share a Meet the Merit video on social media. Invite friends to our next meeting. Sign up today to be an ambassador. With enthusiasm and support, we'll teach. Thank you, and here to our next chapter of growth. And I hand over control to the Chief Evaluator. Thank you.
Okay. Toastmaster Craig. Okay. Thank you so much, CM Hamed. Please, can we give him a round of applause? Am I audible? Because if you can hear me, can I send an emoji?
You are. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very kindly. So please, thank you so much for that beautiful, presentation on how we want to take the club forward. So please, you can drop in the comment section. You can give him a feedback or just anything to encourage him on speaking better, because it's not easy sometimes just coming and speaking to a number of people and you're wondering if you're going to be judged. So thank you so much, Tim Mohammed. And with that, we are going to the next prepared speaker. But before I welcome the next prepared speaker, I would like to ascend and call that prepared speaker evaluator, because we've said it that feedback in Toastmasters is the breakfast of champions. To evaluate the next speaker is Toastmaster Amina Hamza. Now, who is Toastmaster Amina Hamza? This lady has just spoken, and not just spoken, she's one delectable Toastmaster. Wow. Okay, please, I crave your indulgence. I need to call up Toastmaster Amina's profile. Okay, let me just read it on the screen. Okay, she's currently a director in Lagos State and a seasoned facilitator, a trainer, a repertoire, and excels in managing dialogues and capturing insights. This delectable woman or lady will be evaluating the next speaker. So she's going to tell us today what the speech objectives of this next speaker will be. Toastmaster Amina Hamza, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests in the house. I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe. And his speech he'll be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. And his speech is centered on how much will you pay me. The purpose of his speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her experience serving as a leader in volunteer organization, while the purpose of his project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a volunteer organization. So, Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe, you have the floor to speak for 5 to 7 minutes, and I wish you the best in your presentation.
All right, thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Amina Amzar. And with that, we move to our next speaker, whose profile has been read before. Toastmaster Ayobami, I see you standing ready to go. So let's pin your camera so that you can start your speech. The floor is yours.
How much will you pay me? That was the sound playing in my head on the 28th of October, 2018. I was called upon by the head of my dance crew while I was in Kwara State, or while he was in Kwara State, before leaving for Abuja. Prior to calling me, it went on for about 3 months of intense training under Mandela Washington Fellowship. Getting back to Nigeria, I believe he must have asked himself, who are the people capable on this journey with me? For me, I never knew how much important or how great the work I was doing meant to people. All I knew is that I made sure that I do every of my activities as important and as urgent as possible. He called me that day, and like I said, how much will you pay me? Nevertheless, with the sharing of his vision with me, I took upon myself to travel from Kwara State to Abuja, and for good 4 years of my life, I was serving. I was volunteering my time. I was giving the best I could, one day at a time. Now, the question is, what is the impact? What is the influence? And where is the income? But as I've learned, it's better for you to be prepared for an opportunity and it didn't show up than for the opportunity to show forth and you are not ready. While I was juggling the Maraba Road, having to wake up as early as 6:30 to be the first person at that door, opening it for everyone that will come on board, till leaving around 10:30, getting back home around 11:45, and making sure that every other graphic designs and video editing is done best for social media the next day. That was my experience. And the right day came. Is there anybody savvy in cryptocurrency, in the knowledge of Bitcoin? And there I was, in the word of Les Brown, right, looking into his studio and say, I'm ready, I'm hungry. I was, and still I am. They gave me that post to lead the team of Paxful coming into Nigeria at that time. And all thanks to what? Volunteering. I will say this as I quote myself. Volunteering is the litmus test of leadership to truly show if you're one. And as Elizabeth, we have it best. She said something profound, Elizabeth Andrew. She said, volunteers do not have the best of time to themselves, but the best of heart. Not that I was always available, but I choose to follow the mission of impact. And if I may, I have one thing to share with you more. What is that? Volunteering is a place, if you can decide to lead them in the best way and with the best qualities, there is no other place on this earth that you cannot lead. Why? These are sets of people that there is no motivation of any money being paid. But they will decide to follow you based on your quality of a person. Now, what are these qualities? You being empathetic, having that empathy to listen to them, being able to give them the opportunity to express themselves, being able to guide them in the right path and letting them to participate in the things necessary. And that I will say, ask yourself, what leader will you be? What opportunity are you given? What legacy will you allow to be given through you to the world? As I stand in front of you, yes, I was serving in one non-governmental organization. And with the lesson learned, I'm currently leading a non-profit, Bitcoin focused, due to diligence, due to good leadership, due to proficient way of listening, and most importantly, the transparency to great feedback. As I put a lock, not just to close the idea of this conversation, but most importantly, to open it up for you all to come in. I indulge you today in the wise word of Mahatma Gandhi that said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Ask yourself, will you make opportunity available to those that are members right now to become a leader? Will you build trust with your members? Will you leave a legacy of impact? The ball is in your court. But don't forget, this is my own story as I can tell it. What will your own story be? At least now, I don't have to ask the question, how much will he pay me? Because I can pay others best. Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Ayobami, how much will you pay me? Such a beautiful, very elevating, very, yeah, you kind of ascended us to the next level. How much will you pay me? It's all about servant leadership. A lot of people feel that, money comes first, but there's a level to where money can take you to that selflessness, service will take you even further. Thank you so much for that speech. I don't know how many of us picked a cue from that or learned a thing or two. If you've learned anything, any quotes, please drop it in the comment section. Let's encourage Toastmaster Ayobami. I personally learned a lot, and I love that quote by Mahatma Gandhi, which says the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. any gift you have in this world, any ability, if you're not able to give it back, you're just wasting time. You can't, how long do you want to live just by yourself or for yourself? So thank you so much, Toastmaster Ayobami. That was a wake-up call on how to live our lives future focused. And so that brings us to the end of what we call the prepared speeches. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And now we will segue to what we call the evaluation segment.
If I may, Madam President, the time and the eligibility, please.
Oh, yes, please. Timer, can you let us know how well both speakers fared with time and if they are qualified to be voted for? Thank you for calling my attention to that.
Thank you very much, Madam President, on indulging me breaking in transmission. For the first speaker, which is Toastmaster Ahmed Omar, he spoke for 7 minutes, 18 seconds. And this is where the timer gets to be timed. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Angela Badaro, for helping out there. Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe spoke for 7 minutes, 5 seconds. Therefore, both of them are eligible for voting. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you. So at this point, we'll call for the time for the voting. We'll launch the polls for voting. So we have two speakers. We had Toastmaster Ahmed Alex Omar, and the last speaker was Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe. And to lead the evaluation segment, I would like to call back to the lectern, the chief evaluator, very fondly called the English doctor, Toastmaster Craig Esowode, as he leads the evaluation segment. Toastmaster Craig. Toastmaster Craig, is he on the call?
Toastmaster Ebel, can you hear
can
me?
we vote before you evaluate so that we are not
Oh, thank you so much for that. Yes, please, let's wait for the polls. Thank you. So
Am I
please,
audible?
the polls are up. Yes, you're audible. So I'll just let you segue to your segment.
All right. Thank you most graciously for relinquishing control of the spotlight. It is of paramount importance for our new members and guests to recognize that the evaluation segment in the Toastmasters meeting is the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. It is the sharpest tool in the box. It is the most rewarding of all of the segments because evaluation is a free education to excellence. Having said that, it is crucial for you to recognize too that the evaluation segment has 3 parts. First, we're going to listen to the evaluation of the speeches. Second, we shall learn from the reports of the functionaries or role holders. And finally, we are going to revel, if you will, in the evaluation of the chief evaluator. But we had 2 speakers for the educational segment. Before I invite the speech evaluators, permit me to remind the House or the floor that the length for a speech evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes green, 2 minutes 30 seconds yellow, 3 minutes red. Our first speaker was Toastmaster Ahmed Omar, and his evaluation will be delivered by Toastmaster Steve Olugbenga. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Toastmaster Steve Olugbenga, to deliver his evaluation of Toastmaster Ahmed Omar's speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. G. Wow, somebody in the house, everyone say, wow, 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 what a speech. That was a speech and a half given to us by Tim Ahmed. That was a speech that was very professional, very, very constructive and very engaging. I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of that speech. That was a great speech about membership and Toastmaster Ahmed has done a very great job of that. It was a very watertight plan, very, very rich, very robust, and it was very, very contemporary because he, as the vice president membership, I think he chose a topic that very well suits him and is very apt for him. So well done, Toastmaster Ahmed. I really, really give you kudos. Please, everyone in the house, help me congratulate him. Put in the chat box, congratulations to Toastmaster Ahmed. That was a very good one. So everything about that speech was great. I like your intro. You came in with a quote, failing to plan, of course, is planning to fail. And the beautiful thing about this speech is that you spoke from an area of strength. It was actually your comfort zone. So you had everything. You were just sitting, just cruising in the speech, cruising and gliding with your point. And very great about that speech and the proposal itself is that this is a very bold proposal, like you say, very, very bold, very audacious proposal indeed. And I dare say that if the club can execute this proposal, it has the potential to make this club to be a mega club in the entire country with the kind of membership you are going to recruit with this drive. So thank you so much, Tim Ahmed. The only thing about it, which is an aside, which I will say is that you are the vice president membership. And so you have given us a very laudable proposal plan how to improve our membership. So to whom much is given, much is also expected. That means you have sort of boxed yourself into a corner to go about this proposal, but the great one indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, what particularly thrilled me and the highlight of it was that, it was not just a proposal, it came with strategies also. He has strategies well mapped out how to move from one level to another. He had timelines attached to it, how to get it. He had medium. He had the medium that he was going to use. In fact, all the media were there, Facebook and everything. So this is a very great proposal indeed. And I think the club should buy into this proposal. Well done, Tiamame. It was very well researched, very rich, very robust. The metrics were very much in place. And so what I would just want you to improve upon is, yes, I know that this speech is in two parts. There's one where you're supposed to use the projector, use the electronic means to do this speech. But it would have been also great if you had brought in props, maybe by way of cardboard and so on, to actually show us in terms of numbers what we should be expecting, the projection and all that. That would have taken this speech to the next level. And I would also like to say that you should watch the way you use your hand. Yes, you had good engagement of gestures, your hand and all that, but try and be minimalist in the use of your hand. But this speech, ladies and gentlemen, is not just a speech that has ascended, but it has transcended, not just ascended, but it has transcended all the barriers. I've never once seen this kind of proposal for membership in all my years in Toastmasters. This proposal is something that will take not just the club. I think the district also needs to key into this proposal. Great job done by you, Tim Ahmed. I give you kudos for a very great speech. And I know that if you continue this trajectory, your ascendancy to the top, in not just in the club, but in the district, it's just a matter of time. Kudos to you. Well done, well done, well done. Back to you, Mr. G.
All right. Many thanks, Toastmaster Steve, for the wisdom of your evaluation. And I believe unswervingly that your evaluation will aid Toastmaster Ahmed to ascend the staircase or stairwell of public speaking excellence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker was Toastmaster Ayobami Atsolagbe. And may I invite now to the spotlight Toastmaster Amina Amza to present her evaluation of that engaging speech.
Well, thank you, the Chief Evaluator. I must say that the speech of Toastmaster Ayobami Atsolagbe resonates with my thoughts in life, which is based on my favorite quote of Stephen Covey that I am not a product of circumstances, I am a product of decisions I have made. Toastmaster Ayobami, your topic, how much will you pay me? It was a very thrilling presentation, thrilling in such a way that it created a moment, an ascending moment into a storytelling. And it spoke about your passion, which was majorly volunteering. The connecting factor which you use in the course of your presentation. In fact, the ascending pitch you used at the beginning, that it left me wondering, who is the person in Ilorin and who is the person in Abuja? And that is one key thing I love about presentation, whereby you leave your listeners wondering, who is he talking about? So I must commend you for that transiting path. Then I will really commend the fact that your nonverbal communications, they actually aligned with your speeches. So at that point, you find people always like you asking questions, and it's like, even if someone was not listening to you, will know that you're asking a question, and the person will have to become very attentive to want to capture the topic of the moment. There's something that really intrigues me about volunteering that you have speak about, where that volunteering actually is majorly an opportunity. It's a message and it's an impact. And diving into the fact that for you to achieve success in any volunteering part, you made mention of the word leadership. And everybody affirms that leadership is influence. For you to succeed in any volunteering job, you must be able to influence. Well, I would have really loved the fact that if you gave us some practical scenarios or individuals whom this volunteering project has actually impacted on, how much it has turned around their lives. Which I want to say that when you quoted Mahatma Gandhi, that it's the best way is to fight yourself, is to use yourself. So people, yes, you have actually used yourself in the whole storyline, and that's why you're actually telling the story. So the end factor of that storyline, which I loved, is that I can make money. We can make money from volunteering in the long run. So it was a very commendable presentation, and I wish you the best also. Over to you, Chief Evaluator.
And thanks very much indeed for your commendable evaluation of his oratorical performance. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the speech evaluation segment of the evaluation portion of the meeting. May I request the timekeeper to please announce his timekeeping report regarding the evaluations?
Definitely. Thank you very much, the General Evaluator. For the first evaluator, in the person of Toastmaster Stephen Ainon, he spoke for 3 minutes, 38 seconds. The second evaluator, in the person of Toastmaster Amina Amza, she spoke for 3 minutes, 24 seconds, meaning the only eligible person to be voted for, or in this case, where a vote will not be needed, is person that is valid or is valid for voting, and that would be Toastmaster Amina Amza. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you most kindly for the clockwork accuracy of your reports. Our timekeeper, Toastmaster Yabami Atolagbe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is high time we segued into the reports of the functionaries or the role holders of the meeting. And I would love to start with our master, Toastmaster Razak Odejayi.
Our diligent general evaluator, thank you very kindly for bringing me back to the lectern. Well, it's been a wonderful meeting. It's of two things. It's either I was enjoying myself so much, or the speakers at this meeting were all veterans. because I could hardly take note of pause fillers. But just that I must have something, I caught our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ebudameda, who used just once. And Toastmaster Steve, I know, used once as well. And he repeated the phrase as the Toastmaster Ahmed topped the list with the phrase, a whopping 7 times. And that's the end of my record. But I want to reiterate that these Scotch words of filler sounds take away from the clarity and beauty of our expressions. So again, let's cut ties with them and put them 6 feet under the surface, never to be seen again, so that we ascend ourselves from ordinary speakers to professional speakers. And that is what is expected of Toastmasters. Thank you for the opportunity, and it's back to you, our General Evaluator.
All right, many thanks. Let's commit those innocuous speech habits to Mother Earth, never again to resurrect them. Thank you most kindly, Toastmaster Azakodejayi, for the eloquence of your report. Our next role holder who will provide his report will be our grammar sentinel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome tumultuously our grammarian or language evaluator, Toastmaster Angela Badaro, to provide his report.
Thank you very kindly for passing the microphone to me. I have listened with rapt attention, and I think one of the values of being a grammarian or being the language evaluator is you've got to exercise a very high level of attention to what's going on in the meeting, and I try to do that. I also noticed that a lot of the participants in the meeting today have been very conscious of themselves. As such, just as the previous report deliverer mentioned, he hardly noticed that there must have been some level of professionalism. I would also say I noticed a copious use of today's word of the day. I must specifically, straying away from that a little bit before I give that report, also mention that the language use has been quite elevated in the meeting today. And indeed, there's been quite a bit of, would I say, accent in our language delivery on the meeting today. So I can say that indeed we're going forward to the future with some kind of gusto that is rather remarkable. I will say that we had in the table topics section, I will pay attention to anema. I noticed, it was interesting that, of course, at the delivery of the word of the day for today, I'd also given the reverse, that is the opposite of the word of the day. And some people actually used the reverse, the opposite of the word of the day. So I would specifically and give good positive remarks to Anema, who used the word descending as she made her delivery. It was rather something I noticed. It stood out for me. Going forward, I wouldn't want to mention too much of the remarkable instances, but that particular one I would really would like to pay attention to, and I already mentioned it. I will then go ahead to give us an idea of the report of the use of the word of the day. Toastmaster Craig Esowade was rather outstanding with that. In the chat box as well, we had a lot of people mention and reuse it and chat. The chat box was rather active today, and of course, the activity was also not bereft of the use of the word of the day. As we launch into our week and as we carry on with our activities as better speakers in the future that we're trying to move into, I would implore us to continue to be attentive, to be conscious of the moment, because it's something I've taken away from this exercise today as the language evaluator. And because I have seen it reflected in the use of the word of the day today, which is we have been able to show within the time frame of this meeting that we can be attentive and we can learn new things and apply them. Let us continue to apply ourselves in every moment, stay conscious, and continue to elevate our use of our language, and of course, as the intending better public speakers that we want to be. Thank you very much. That will be my report for today as a language evaluator. Over to you, Chief Evaluator.
All right, many thanks. Let's continue to elevate our use of the language. Toastmaster Angela, thank you most kindly for the wonderful wisdom of your words. May I request the timekeeper to make a few comments regarding our use of the time today? We are a bit behind the time, even though the meeting has been indisputably enchanting. But Toastmaster Ebami, give us your report regarding the time, our use of time
Thank
today.
you very much.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, General Evaluator. For me, I would say we so much enjoy the process and the experience. If you don't mind, I believe my boy wants to be a Toastmaster as well very soon, so he's here with me, a little distraction. I believe we started 3 minutes past 4 minutes, which we are fine, thank you. Which I believe Toastmasters ought to start, meeting for Merit Toastmaster ought to start 4 p.m. on dot. So I'll call on the SAA to watch out for that. As well, some segments of role players went beyond their timing, which caused a little rush as we have currently, affecting the timing we have. But I believe once we've gained our ground regarding the leadership of Merit Toastmaster as it is currently, we'll be able to manage it properly. And that is a promise on my hand. I might not be the one playing the timekeeperness, but I promise it will be a great experience as it comes. Thank you so much, the General Evaluator.
All right. Many thanks for the pinpoint precision of your report. And perhaps next time we can consider spotlighting the speakers alongside the timekeeper, especially when you're on the verge of showcasing the green card. You can always spotlight the speakers and then the timekeeper. That way, there is no excuse that, oh, I couldn't see the timekeeper. I wasn't seeing the cards. All right, just the way you did it for a smattering of moments ago when Toastmaster Amina was evaluating your speech. We saw the spotlight. Something like that can help us to manage time more effectively. All right, now let me provide some remarks regarding my general evaluation of the meeting. Now that we have concluded the reports of the meeting role holders or functionaries. Toastmaster Ayabami, you can put yourself somewhere beside me so that I can monitor the cards, please. Let me provide some remarks regarding what I observed during the meeting today. The TMOD, Toastmaster Ebun Damelda, kudos for your resounding efforts today. You introduced the role players resourcefully, in my humble estimation, and that helped them to approach the spotlight with that air of credibility. My only improvement suggestion for you is make the educational segment educational by informing our new members and our guests the pathways from which the speakers will deliver their speech. Toastmaster Steve mentioned that of Ayobami Atolagbe, innovative planning path. Nevertheless, we didn't hear the one of Toastmaster Ahmed, the second speaker, the effective coaching path. Ahmed, innovative planning. Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe, effective coaching. So my recommendation is make the educational segment more educational by informing our audience members regarding the exact path the speakers will deliver from which the speakers would deliver their speech. My best commendation for you was your sense of crowd interaction when you told the audience members to type future focus, the theme of the meeting, into the chat facility. That was engaging in my perspective. As such, you excelled in the department of crowd interaction. Let me make some comments regarding the evaluation of the table topic session by Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho. Toastmaster Fumi, you were able to showcase the distinction of your listening skills by the way you were repeating the questions which the table topics master asked the respondents. And that's something we can learn from you, because somebody who came in after the table topic session, that person had a mental snapshot of the questions that ensued from that segment. My recommendation for you, the structure that you used for a table topics, and I believe all of us can benefit from this. Table topics is not speech evaluation, where you have 2 to 3 minutes to evaluate a speaker. Table topics, commendation, recommendation, commendation, one commendation, one recommendation, one commendation. If you can follow that approach, you would manage your time effectively for table topics evaluation. One commendation, one recommendation, one commendation, because you don't have much time. That's my recommendation for you, Toastmaster from the mentorship, because I observed that you were giving 4 commendations to a speaker in a table topics evaluation. One commendation, one recommendation, one commendation. The best part, and this is something we can all learn from Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho, the way she gave the recommendation to the second speaker. She said that the second speaker could have used a supporting material under the banner of a quote. And she didn't stop there. She gave the quote by Joseph Jobbert. It is better to debate a matter than to let it slide. That is a solid recommendation. That is a solid recommendation. That is an impactful recommendation to a speaker, as opposed to use a quote next time or consider a quote next time. Giving that type of recommendation, specifying the quote, that is an impactful recommendation. I commend you, Toastmaster Fumi Omotosho, for the gusto and quality of your recommendation. To our, well, I will provide an evaluation later. Let me commend the meeting, the way the voting came across. The voting was snappy, it was quick, and I admire I admire the voting today. The voting was quick today, and I admire that. All right, may I just take this opportunity to thank all of the functionaries and role holders, those who contributed actively and inactively to the reverberating and tumultuous success of the meeting today. May my evaluation serve as a pair of shoes for us to walk further on our public speaking and leadership skills development journey. And it's back to you, our lively and vivacious Madam Toastmaster, Toastmaster Ebon Demelda.
Thank you so very kindly, our English doctor. It's always a time of knowledge, of expanding our vocabulary every time we listen to you. So thank you so much for that beautiful evaluation. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now segueing. We're still ascending towards the end of today's meeting. However, we will not end without getting to commend those who have been voted for in today's meeting. So I would like to take this moment to call on our Zoom master, who will now launch so that we can congratulate those who won the table topics and the prepared speeches segment. So let's start with the table topic. So who is our winner for the table topic segment, that dreaded segment which all of us sometimes have? So the screen is coming up, and the winner of the table topic segment is coming up. Toastmaster Amina Hamza. Toastmaster Amina Hamza, you're taking home today the Best Table Topics Award for 24th of July, 2024. Congratulations, madam. And we hope you will continue to speak extemporaneously and hone your public speaking skills. So thank you so much. And with that, we'll move quickly to the next award, which is the Prepared Speeches segment. And who will be taking home the crown? We have two contenders, world heavyweight champions. On one side was Toastmaster Ahmed Hamza, and the other, Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe. But all of you have voted for who you felt was your better speaker. So who is going to be? Toastmaster Ayobami, can you launch the poll, launch the winner? And the winner of the Prepared Speeches segment for July 24th, 2025 is, drum rolls, who did you vote for? It's Toastmaster Ayobami Atolagbe. Please, can we give him a sound round of applause? Toastmaster Ayobami, according to you, was the better speaker in today's prepared speech. So thank you so much to both speakers, and all of our speakers, in fact, from our table topics to the evaluators, because by default, we had an evaluator because the other person didn't do well with timing. So I want to thank everyone today as we round up today's. Okay, I think Toastmaster, are you sharing something? Okay. So the better evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Amina Hamza for her judicious use of time during the evaluation segment. I want to thank us all for taking time out to, spend some time with Merry Toastmasters. I hope you've learned a thing or two. And today, like I said, our theme was future focus. And there's a quote that says that the future comes to those who dare to dream. But I will just add to that. It's not just daring to dream. It's also daring to dream and then take action. So what actions are we taking today to take us to the future that we all desire? As a club, as individuals, as a family, whatever decision you decide to take, it starts now. And I want to say thank you so much for joining us on this journey. We hope to see you in the next meeting, which is the second week of August, where we'll also be learning together as a club, as individuals, as a group. And with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us. And if you are a guest, now this is where I'd like to call our guests who are still on the call. Before you drop off, is anybody still on the call? Oh, wow. Okay, we still have the beautiful, delectable Anema. Yes, please, can you unmute yourself? And yes, we'd like to hear from you a word.
Thank you so much. It's been quite an opportunity just listening into the conversation and hearing how everyone is practicing this public speaking skill. I'm quite excited to be part of this group and to learn all that I can while I can. I have decided for myself that this is my next step learning, and so I will be here as frequently as I need to be to master the art of public speaking. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't have the quotes, unfortunately.
It's okay. So thank you so much for joining us. I like what you said, that I would like to see more of your face or your presence in our club. But most importantly, for you to be able to take that very solid step will be for you to actually become a full-fledged member. And why do I say so? So it's easy for us to sit down and learn, but then when you take steps, you take action, then you become a better speaker. All of us here, we all started from somewhere. And I would like to use the quote that Toastmaster Ayobami said today. It is better to be prepared for an opportunity that does not show up, rather than to be not prepared when the opportunity eventually shows up. So we learn by doing, and I want to encourage you that, yes, you're welcome to our club at any time, but also make that move to becoming a full-fledged member. And I'm sure you definitely not regret it. Thank you so much for your presence in our club today. And congratulations for taking that bold move to speak. That was a good
Thank
one.
you. Thank
Well
you.
done.
I'll reach out to the person who invited me to the call to find out how I
Yes,
can become
that's a good one. Who invited you?
Mrs. Fumi, I think it was.
Okay.
Omotosho, Mrs. Fumi Omotosho.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right.
All right.
So I'm looking for, I see Clara Norum on the call. Clara Norum, are you a Toastmaster? Are you a guest? Oh, I'm supposed to. Okay. Is Clara shy? Okay, if you're shy, you can send a direct message on the chat so that we can get to meet you. Okay, so with that, I don't see any other guests on the call at the moment. So this is where I'll say we officially adjourn today's meeting to, I'm sorry, let me just check the calendar. Oh, I don't know if somebody can help us there. When is second week in August, second Thursday? Okay, Clara says she's not shy. But why are you not speaking? Okay, who invited you? What's your feedback on today's meeting? We'd like to know. Oh, okay. She said that I tried to unmute, but internet people did not allow you. Why? Who is not allowing you to unmute? Can we look into that? So Master Clara wants to unmute. Let me try to prompt that from my end. Okay. There seems to be something. Okay, so I would officially like to adjourn, I beg your pardon. Let me just look for
14th, please.
10th. Did you say 10th?
No, 14th.
14th. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm officially adjourning today's meeting to the 14th of August 2025. I would like somebody to second that motion for the adjournment of today's meeting. Who will be doing that for us?
I, Hayobami, VP Education, second that motion to adjourn the meeting to that date. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. And so like now the floor is open for anybody to unmute their mics to network. I think, so intending Toastmaster Clara, that's okay. I can see your comments in the comment section. Toastmaster Fumi, I think I'm hearing jollof rice at this point. Okay, I think we need to end it. We need to stop recording.
Stop it.